after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook.
And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Cousins. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
Here's Cook again. 119 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a 1st down with his very next run.
And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A great play there. 27 yards. And the Vikings are able to move back in front. This time, the extra point up and good. And that'll make this a 6-point game.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And inside give to Jones. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9. And it'll be back to a 3rd and 3. Rodgers now to throw.
He has it complete to Christian Watson.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, right at the 40. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
It always helps when you get great run support from your safeties, and when you get one who can actually read the play and get upfield and shut it down before it gets going, that's exactly what you're looking for.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Up the middle, Jones. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. Got a man, it's Tunyon. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 20-yard line. They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
And he's got it. And it's a Packers touchdown. Allen Lazard, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Crosby connects on the extra point. And that will give him the lead here as we get on towards halftime. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted.
And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come.
He rifles one that's intercepted.
And the Vikings force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horrible. And the third interception thrown by Cousins. Picked off by Eric Stokes.
And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
Well, these are the situations that really test the defense, those sudden changes. They're already inside field goal range to start the possession. Their goal now, keep it to a long kick, if indeed they end up trying one.
Down inside the 10.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Crosby is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
And, Charles, they got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it 1 more time, so make sure you get in shape.
What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him to first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Running right, Jones.
The stop made there by Chandon Sullivan.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense, and know what they say. Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
2nd down, another shot for Jones.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down.
Here's Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked by Cameron Bynum.
And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. That is a tough way to start the 3rd quarter. You get the football, hoping to drive it down, put it in the end zone, and take the lead. Instead, they give him the football.
And I think the key here is for them to not get discouraged. That is not how they drew it up, not how they saw it in their minds. But there's a long way to go in this game. You know, they've just got to find a way to come back one play at a time. Yes, it's a cliche, but they can get it done. Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big game.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
143 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
First down, here's the run with Cook.
And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
After the pickup of 5, here's second and 5.
Now an end around as Cousins will just pop this forward.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On third down, Cousins. Complete. Smith has it. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
Well, they've got 3 tight ends here on first and goal to add some extra mass.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
On second and goal, Cousins. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. So a costly INT in the end zone, no less, puts the brakes on their potential scoring drive.
So many teams stick with the passing game down near the goal line because they see it as an extension of what they do between the 20s. But as we said many, many times, the further you drive, the more the field shrinks. And that was a nice job of making a play on the football and coming away with the interception.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on second and 12. In his own end zone, it's Rodgers.
A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon.
So the completion good for 7 there. And it brings up third and 5 now.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. In the end zone, it's a safety.
Every team has plays in their book to try and buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations. In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and, oh, he's over 200 yards. But that really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. Fantastic. A lot of fun to watch.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble of bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Second and 10. Rodgers going to give this one to Dillon.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This is taken at the 15.
The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return.
And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
You hate to give the ball away here in the 4th quarter while you're just holding a slim lead, but that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
They run once more with Dillon.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Coaches preach all the time about opportunities and taking advantage of them, and he did exactly that. I used to have a coach told us all the time, a lost opportunity is never regained. Well, no regrets here. He picked that one off and took it to the house.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. A About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
We'll see if they can band back together after the pick six. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A two-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock.
And he'll be out right at the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers, pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Zadarius Smith has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. To throw is Rodgers. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it.
And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll bring this one inside the 35.
Boy, 227 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Riley Patterson now on for the field goal.
From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt.
Patterson's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Throwing on first down is Rodgers.
This one complete to Tunyon underneath. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. And he delivers a strike complete to Watkins. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Rodgers going to throw. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for one here and save the possible two-point conversion for later?
I think you do, because if you go for two here and you don't get it, that's deflation.
Yeah.
Now you're wondering why you're even going for it. Take the easy one now and come back and try and get it later.
So still a small chance here with a little over 30 seconds to go, but they're definitely going to need this one to bounce their way. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
It's a gain of 3 there, and that should be just about all she wrote.
But that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory.
Well, Charles, when you look at the stat sheet, ultimately one thing sticks out like a sore thumb.